Hello and welcome to Wednesday Live with Evie, where I share each week on a different topic relating to business and productivity. So head over to the comments, say hello, let me know that you are watching. And today is topic number 91 or live number 91. And the topic is finding the balance of tasks that get you seen versus uh, tasks that improve your business. So let me know, do you tend to focus on tasks that get your business seen, or do you tend to focus on tasks that improve your business? I'd love to know if you could share those in the comments. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Evie Burke, and I help women entrepreneurs take their productivity to a new level so that they can be better project managers of their business. And at the end of the day, then they don't have to worry about what didn't get done today or what needs to be done tomorrow, but instead they can be just completely present with the people that they are spending their off hours with. So now let's talk about my weekend, because that's really where this topic comes from. So on Friday, I had identified two top priorities from the beginning of the week. And those two of those top priorities that I had identified were not done. And just a minute, I'm going to make sure I'm not missing somebody's comments over here. So before I jump into my weekend anymore. All right, so I can see that now. All right. So I had two of my top priorities for the week that weren't finished on Friday morning. And I could schedule all my Facebook page posts for December. That was one of my tasks. And that's what would get me seen. Or I could take myself through some coursework for a business program that I've purchased, and that's the thing that would improve my business. So I wasn't sure if I'd have time to work over the weekend. We were going to be spending it at my in-laws, and I knew that the following week, this week, I had planned a full week for myself, and I wasn't going to necessarily have time to go back and do this extra work that might not get done or wouldn't get done last week. So what to do? And what happened was it came down to two things. One, completing that business coursework, that program, or working on that program, is a top priority for my business. When I planned out December, that was one of the priorities that I had identified. So even though it was the end of November, it was all, it was one of my priorities. And two, to make the most out of the business program coursework, I really needed a couple of hours of focused, uninterrupted time just to sit and work on that, make my way through that coursework. While when looking at the scheduling out the Facebook posts, what I needed was 10 to 15-minute bursts of focused time. And I needed a couple of hours of those, but just 10 to 15 minutes, if I got interrupted, it wouldn't be a big deal. It wouldn't really interrupt the flow, while interruptions would completely interrupt the flow of working on that coursework. So Friday morning, I decided to work on the coursework. That was the higher priority item, in my opinion. And I had that focus time that I could use for it, so I used it. And then what ended up happening was on Saturday, I had a couple of hours in the afternoon. My husband and his sister ended up going to the store to get some grocery shopping and some other errands done. And my mother-in-law was busy, doing her things around the house. And I had about 2 hours with my laptop sitting at the kitchen table. And it might sound like kind of boring, but it was just a lot of fun just to be there hanging out. I'm getting my stuff done. Mother-in-law's getting her stuff done. Husband and sister-in-law getting their things done out of the house. So while I didn't get everything done that I wanted in that couple hour span of time, I made some really great progress. And I think we go through different phases in our business. So one phase where we want to, really hunker down and get all of the behind the scenes things done in our business. And we might ignore some of the things that would make us visible to others, whether that's social media, networking, whatever that might be for you. And then there's another phase that's completely the opposite, where we're really focused on being seen. We're always out there. We're always networking. We're always, making sure that we're posting to social media. Newsletters are going out. Facebook Lives are happening. Whatever those things are, like we're really focused on getting our business seen, right? You might call it promotion. You might call it networking, whatever you marketing to a certain extent, right? We're out there, we're getting seen. And then there's this third phase of business that is where we have like a really nice mixture of both of those, right? It's not all about the behind the scenes work and it's not all about getting seen, but we have a nice mixture of the two. And we make sure we make time for both of those together. And each of those three phases is important. Each of those three phases is needed because at different times in your business, you're going to be more focused on the behind the scenes things, or you're going to want to be like really focused on being out there, being visible, being seen. And then there's times in your business where you really want to make sure that both of those things are merging together nicely and you're not spending, you're not neglecting either one of those, right? And it's also important to recognize when we're in one particular phase, only because that's a really comfortable phase for us to be in. So for me as an introvert, or maybe it's just because I like to plan a lot, it's really easy for me to focus exclusively on the behind the scenes things. And what can sometimes happen is I am so exclusively focused on behind the scenes things that I'm not focused on being visible. Or what can also happen, hi Kim, I see you just joined in or watching. Hello. One of the other things that can happen is I'll notice that, oh, I'm really focused on the behind the scenes thing. So I'll really focus on being visible and being out there. And I'll be so focused on that that then I'm not looking at the behind the scenes work as much as maybe I wanted to. So it's kind of like a pendulum swinging, right? From one extreme to the other, but where a pendulum will naturally find the middle, um, for us in our business, we might find ourselves very comfortable on one side or the other. And sometimes it's about recognizing, okay, what can I do to find that middle spot where those two things are really um, playing together nicely, or I'm focusing on both of them kind of equally. So it's really important to recognize where do you need to be in your business. And the first place to start here is looking at where are you right now? Where of those three phases are you? Are you really focused on the behind the scenes work? Are you really focused on being visible, or are you merging the two of them nicely right now? And there's no judgment one way or the other, because again, all of those phases are needed. So just identify where are you right now. And once you do that, think about, are you there because that's where you need to be? Or are you there because that's where you're really comfortable being? Again, sometimes I have to ask myself that question. Or even if I'm there because I'm overcompensating for wanting to be uh, getting things done behind the scenes of my business. So it's important for me to realize, why am I in the phase that I'm in, right? What is it that's going on? And then the next question to ask yourself is, do I need more of one of the other phases? Do I need more of that behind the scenes working on my business time? Do I need more of the being visible time? Or do I need to work on having more equal time behind the two? And once you know where you want to be or what you need more of right now, then you can set that intention to be doing more of that piece that's missing, and putting more of those types of tasks or projects in your schedule. Just a minute, I need to take a drink of water here. So one thing to keep in mind here though is our topic from last week on perfection. So don't wait in any one phase until something is perfect, because really you want to focus on progress and not on, am I doing my behind the scenes work, focusing on my business? Are all of those things perfect? Or do I have exactly how I want to be talking about myself and presenting myself at networking? Am I doing that perfectly? Don't wait until those things are perfect before you start to um, look at, is that really where you want to be, or focus on progress, wherever you need to make it somewhere else. So if you want to chat some more about this, if you're not sure where you are, let me know, comment below where you think you are and where you want to be, if you're brave enough that you want to share that. And if you want some help focusing or refocusing your time or your business, did you know that I take private clients? So this might be a great time to explore looking at, do you want to work with me one-on-one and help you identify, where you are and maybe where you need to be, and what those tasks or those projects might look like to get you closer to where you want to be. Excuse me. So if you want to set up a time to talk about that, let me know, and I'm happy to do that with you. So that's it for this week's Wednesday Live with Evie. And until next week, much love. Bye.